welcome to the crack of dawn. This is Dawn Lombardi. I'm so excited. It seems like forever that we've been tuning in. So excited to be here with Rich, my director here. We're having a great time. And we had a couple like hiatus, a little bit of time off for a minute there. We are painting, we don't know what. It's so weird. I came in, I went to the Dick Blick store next to my house, and I bought a canvas this size, meaning I thought I was going to do like a, you know, a landscape going this size or a seascape. And then I decided last minute that a lot of people are getting married right now. And, you know, obviously in the background too, I have this gorgeous like thing over here. You'll see it in a second, but that inspired me too. But a lot of people are getting married, and a lot of times they're trying to hire someone to do their invitations, or they're trying to do the cards, or trying to be a little bit like creative too, especially the bride. They want to show their groom that, you know, I'm, you know, creative. I can do something like my invitations, and, you know, you can do it with a pencil, with watercolor, or you could do it like with a paint thing. And, you know, this is obviously not going to be your wedding invitation, but you take a picture of this and you have it done at Staples or something like that. And then you have it smaller, and then you put the font on the top, you know, Henry and Jennifer, blah, 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 with the date. And there you go. You have your own wedding invitations. It doesn't have to be on a canvas. It could be on a, you know, small card. It could be on a watercolor, whatever you want. I'm painting from behind me. I didn't really have anything to paint. And so as you can see right here, right there, Rich just had it right there, is a background unit that they just installed at Nutmeg TV, and it's gorgeous. And obviously I got my inspiration from this mural right here on the wall. So I am doing this, but I was just thinking, like so many brides thinking like, oh, I need someone to do my wedding invitations. No, you don't. You know, mess around with little watercolors. Think about when you were back in high school taking art class. Do a little bouquet with a little like bow on it. You know, show your guests that you did your wedding invitations. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And plus, when you do them in multiple invitations, they look kind of, you know, cute and really nice. Then you sign them, they look really pretty. You put bows, you can add them to pretty much all of your invitations. So mine is very cute. Obviously, I'm not going to send this as my wedding invitation, but to take a photograph of this when it's done and then add font, and as you all know, with Photoshop and Instagram and all that stuff, you can do so many things with your painting. I'm just going to paint along while we're chatting along. Lots of people getting married, very excited for them. It's been a long time since I got married. I do like the smaller weddings. I think it's really cool. A tulip is easy. Let me show you how to do a tulip really quick. You don't even need a pencil. So basically a tulip is just do a smiley face like that, okay? And then do, you know, like you did in second grade, do this. And it looks awful, okay? It really does. It looks terrible. I mean, it looks like a 5-year-old. That's how 5-year-olds do it. But then that is exactly what a tulip looks like. And what happens is you got to make a little black with that. I'm adding a little black with my color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this one over that one. So that one's folded over. And then this one might be folded over as well. Okay? And then you're getting some, you know, darker reds and pinks in there. Okay? And if it looks bad, well, guess what? It is bad. Don't give up. Just keep going. You know, I always say if it looks bad, it is bad. I mean, I'm a master painter here, and mine doesn't look so good. But, I mean, I'm not giving up. I'm not grabbing a paintbrush and another, you know, canvas from the side. I'm just not giving up. So I'm just going to keep going. Remember to keep your colors separated. Okay? And remember, don't be afraid to put in, like, a background color. Or don't be afraid to put a pointy thing in. Don't be afraid of anything, really, okay? And remember that everything has shadows. So just because the tulip's pink, it doesn't necessarily mean that the whole thing is the same color pink, okay? So that's what I'm doing here, hoping that it works. And then at the very end, I might add a little bow like here around the stem. And then, you know, there's your wedding invitation, okay? Different color greens, you know, if you're doing the tulips are kind of, they're not pointy stems, a little bit. They're a little pointy, but they're more They're more like if they poke you, they're not going to poke you bad, you know. So I'm going to do those, okay? Make sure you have a lot of those in there. Yeah. My husband just got rid of all of our cable. So now I have 1 million channels. I have Netflix. Oh, sorry. Thanks to Diana. Thanks, Diana. Yeah, I've got Netflix. I've got Hulu. I've got Peacock. I've got all these things. I don't even know what they're doing. It's crazy. But before, I just had regular television, and now I get everything. But I don't know what to watch. I'm so confused. There's so many. I'm going to keep going here. Okay. And like I said, Rich and I are here alone tonight. There's a lot of people here tonight. We're just here tonight. My principal, Kevin Geisler, Mr. Kevin Geisler, he's my principal at my school. He said, I'll come on the show. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, I'll come on the show. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. So he's scheduled for April 7th, but unfortunately we had to have that one canceled. So I'll have him on, but you won't even believe it. You won't believe that he's my principal. It's crazy. Yeah, like really, it's unbelievable. And I wish to have more people on from my work because he's unbelievable. Yeah. All right, I'm not going to switch up the colors so much. These tulips behind me have a little bit of orange and yellow mixed in the middle of them. I might put a couple of those. I might do that in the middle just because sometimes they do turn a little bit different in the middle of the tulip. And I really want these to be cute. And you really could. You could use these for your wedding invitation. Why not? Okay? You might think mine are bad, but on a wedding invitation, they're adorable. Okay? I'm going to put in some of this more green. I went a little bit crazy and put in some black in there, so I'm going to try to, you know, mix that in with some green instead. Yeah, I did go a little crazy with that. But remember, lights and darks look great together. You want to make sure that if you have them going out there, you're going to have them out there. I'm going to put a bow on it in a minute. But I want to make sure that this part is dry right here before I put the bow. Because if I put a blue bow right here, it's going to, you know, mix in with the green, and blue and green make, you know, a different color, really. Okay, I'm going to add a couple more tulips on the top. Okay. And I'm going to try to make them look like real, you know, if I can. These are probably the easiest flowers to draw. You know what's really hard is roses, very hard to draw. Roses are kind of like this, but I'm going to make that into a tulip instead. Maybe a couple of them because, yeah. And then what I'm going to do is add the stems, and then we're going to be ready, good to go. So this could be a really good little invitation. You know, even if it's a brunch, even if you say like, you know, meet me at my brunch. I'm having brunch at my house. You know, please join me for this. Look at that, with the little green around here. You know, there's going to be a lot of green, you know. There's going to be a lot of green because that's the way it is. Okay, but even if you said, meet me for a little brunch at my house, you know, you put the little address there. All right, I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just do a little bit. I really don't know if I want to put the black. Sometimes you want to put the black and sometimes you don't. I'm going to do like a really cute bow, and I'm going to do some white with some turquoise. And, you know, don't be afraid to use the colors. I'm using some white right now. I just used a lot of white. And then I'm going to put in a, I think I'm going to put in this green here. No, I'm going to do a blue. Remember, I said I was going to do a blue, so I'm going to do a blue. So I'm going to do a blue, and I'm going to mix it with the white, and I'm going to make like a little blue, you know, like say you were having like a blue kind of wedding theme. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a blue, and he's going to show it. I'm going to do a blue bow. Okay, see? And then I'm going to go down like this. And then I'm going to go over like that. See? So say you had, you know, a wedding invitation. And that was it. And it said Dawn Nolan and Tony Lombardi are getting married. I'm going to go in with some blue, and I'm going to put a little highlight in here. Okay? I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do that. I'm pretty good at doing this. If you're not, it's okay. I learned that a long time ago. Yeah. And then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to go here, underneath, and then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here and there. And that looks like perfect, doesn't it? Oh my God, it's like perfect. I could go like that too. Now you could do the background blue. I don't think I'm going to. I mean, I could do something like great, but I mean, when you come into your house and they have these little foyers, you know, when you walk into your house and there's like a little, you know, I don't know, a mud room, and then there's a wall and it's like really skinny, and you want to hang something like this that's like really skinny, you know, when you come into your foyer or whatever, you know, that would really look really nice. Yeah, I think that would look nice. So we're going to keep going. We've got 15 minutes. I can't even believe it's so long. We're going to keep going here. Rich is doing the cameras. A little bit is dripping. We don't mind, you know, we don't mind that so much. No, not really. Oh, I had a scare. I went into the hospital. I'm telling you, it was like the Four Seasons. My sister said to me, wasn't it great, Dawn? And most people say, wasn't the hospital awful? And no, my stay was amazing, and it was the Four Seasons. I mean, New Britain Hospital is unbelievable. So I have to say right now, if you have to go to the hospital, New Britain was out of control, amazing, and I don't think I had one bad experience from the moment I stepped in there, from the moment I left. And we had a lot of answers. You know, we had a lot of questions answered, lots of stuff going on. But I have to say, really great. And I don't really like hospitals. I could never be a nurse or a doctor. Oh God, never. All right, I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna try it for 15 minutes. I'm really gonna try to make this like if it really were my wedding. You know, I want this to be like I'm gonna shake this up a little. Every now and then, if you get the acrylic paint, you gotta shake them up a little bit. And I'm not too messy of a person. You know, even here, I don't really get stuff on the, you know, things. I'm going to grab a new brush, okay? And I'm just going to try to finish these tulips so that they look really nice. And don't be afraid to do your own wedding invitations or your baby shower stuff. You don't need someone to do that for you. You can do it yourself. You know, just think back when you were in high school and you did an art class. You know, were you really that bad? I doubt it. I bet you weren't. No, I bet people weren't. They just think they weren't. They think, oh, I wasn't an art major. I couldn't do it. Yeah, you could. Yeah. So I'm just going over these, trying to make them look, you know, real. And then, you know, trying to make them look cute, you know, like if it were my wedding invitation, I really would want it cute. And then I'm going to do a couple over on the side here, maybe one over here. Don't forget to paint the side of the canvas. If the flower goes off the canvas, paint it off the canvas. It looks way better. That looks cute. Okay, I'm going to just go in and do this. Yeah. Yeah, I asked Rich what he's been doing. He said, like I always say, are you doing like board meetings? Are you doing Board of Education? Oh my God. I don't even know. And then all the boys, all the basketball stuff, that's a blast. I don't really watch the UConn, not a lot, but these girls are amazing. A lot of people are really into the UConn stuff. Okay, I think it's looking pretty good. I don't know. What do you think, Rich? I think it's good. I like the blue bow. I mean, you could change it to a different color. I might change the background. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I could make it black. I kind of like it white, but I kind of want to make it like maybe... Okay, I'm going to see if I have, yeah, I've got one more brush. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this white, and I'm going to make like kind of like a really pasty white background. like really, like almost like I'm frosting a cake. We have 10 minutes. It's a ton of time. I'm going to make it look like I'm frosting a cake, okay? And then I think it's going to be, I might even want it. You know, sometimes when I leave here, I'm like, I want this thing. You know, I don't even know. I put everything back here, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the background white. And it's going to be very, it's going to try not to get my tulips while they're wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this while we're waiting. We're going to chat it up. I'm going to do this while we're waiting. I'm doing the sides. I'm using a lot of white here. And I'm staying away from my paint because as soon as I touch it, it's going to, you know, touch the other paint and not look good. So I'm going to wait, okay? Yeah. So anyway, I started deciding if I'm going to, I was going to buy a new bicycle, like a good one, you know, not a crappy one. And I don't want the one that cheats. I don't want the one that says, oh, I'm going to do it for you. I used to bike a lot back in Aspen, Colorado, when I used to live there. Not for that long, but I mean, I did bike a lot, and I really liked it. And mountain biking is my thing. Plus, I'm not that great of an athlete, you know what I mean? So people think, oh, you know, it wasn't like that, really. But I really did enjoy biking, and especially mountain biking, and especially really rough terrain and mountain, really. I really liked it. So I don't know if I can handle that right now, but that's something I'd like to get back into. I did like it a lot. But the bike that I was riding on back then was like, you know, a few $1,000s, and, you know, that was 30 years ago. So I don't know what a bike would cost now, you know? All right, I don't want to get into my, I want to keep my background white, but if you notice, my background is really, really, really like, oh, it's like fluorescent white. And I squirted out too much paint, so I really want to use it all. You know, when you do that, you just want to use it all. And I think this is going to be a good painting. And maybe even like sellable. Yeah. When I'm done with this white stuff, it might be. I don't know about the bow. It's a little cheesy, but like I said, if I was getting married, definitely the bow. Yep. So we're going in here. We're doing that. I hope everybody's been painting or doing something with their time. I got a little bit into the blue, but that's okay. Because once this dries, I'm going to get it. And also, it could be really cute like that. You know, it could be really cute. Yep. Yesterday, I went to Supercuts. And I said, usually I get my hair cut from Karen down at the hair coloring company. And I mean, she's not messing around. She is like amazing. And I just couldn't wait. I had to get it done. Otherwise, I was going to do it by myself, which is not good. And I went to Supercuts, and they did it fine. I have to say it's fine. But it's no Karen. I mean, Karen down at the hair coloring company, oh my God. She does my daughter's hair. She does my daughter Maddie's friend's hair. I don't think she does Maddie's mom's hair, but she does Maddie's hair. And I mean, we're just like, we can't even stand it. It's so good. Now, the green got into my white. See, you can see it. So it's going to wreck it, you know, but it is acrylic paint. It's going to dry fast. I really want this to look great, and I'm getting there. I have to say I'm very happy with this. I do not like the bow. I don't know what I'm going to do with the bow. I was just trying to show you how to do like a bow for a wedding, and now I don't like it because I don't want it in my house. And if this is going to be my painting, yeah, I don't want that there. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I can make the bow work, but I don't like the bow. Not for my house. Let's see. Okay, let's just give it some time, and then I might get rid of the bow. But it's just one of those things. I can't help it. You know, like I got it in the green right here. It doesn't bother me so much, but sometimes things bother me. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I don't know about the bow. All right, I'm getting rid of the bow. Now, this is gonna make my entire painting blue. So I don't know what I'm going to do here. I told you. I told you that would happen. So we're just going to do it. Just so you know, this is what happens. So when you go and throw out your painting and you're like, oh my God, I wrecked it. No, you didn't. Okay, I just decided I didn't like the bow. And now all of this is going to take a little bit of a while to dry because I mixed in the blue. And you can't do this and start going over it because no, that won't work. So you have to wait, okay? And if a couple minutes go by and Rich comes by and says 5 minutes like he just did, well, that might have to look like that. But I'm just trying to show you what happens when you decide, like, okay, I'm going to throw out my painting. It looks awful. There's a million things you can do with it really right now. I could add a glass, a vase. I think it's too big for a vase. I'm going to leave it, yeah, I'm going to leave it as a bouquet. But I'll tell you, I did not like that. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some blue up here. I just decided. I'm going to put some blue up here, okay? Sometimes you can do this and it works. See what I did? I put the blue up there. Yeah, okay? And now I'm going to go back and put some of this in here. Not a lot. That looks pretty bad. What I'm going to do is, I don't know what I'm going to do now because I don't have any green left. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour out some more green. He'll come by and say we have about 2 minutes left and it's going to be perfect, okay? I'm going to take out this green here. There we go, okay? I have to do it bold because I've got a lot of, okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like a piece of burlap on it, okay? I like it now, okay? Okay, that looks nice. I don't know what you think, but I'm going crazy with it. I'm going to put a piece of burlap on it, and it's going to be like this color, like that. And then, I don't know what I'm going to do. I kind of like it. He's going to come out in a minute. Now, what I'm going to probably do is, I'm probably going to draw into it with this pencil, which you can do. So you can draw into things, and you can kind of, you know, you can draw into it. We've got 2 minutes left. I'm drawing into the tulip with a pencil, okay? I'm also going to sign into it with a pencil, okay? I don't mind this. I think it could be a very good, I think this could be cute. A wedding invitation. Okay, we're going to put that there. I kind of like it. You know, I don't know about this burlap thing. I think I'm going to like make that a little bit different here. Yeah, that looks good. Kind of. I think I'm going to just make it a little bit yellowish, yellowish, orangish. And then we'll put that there. That looks a little bit better. Yeah. I'm going to put like, I might even put like another bow on it, but just a different, like that. Okay, I'm going to leave that like that. I mean, I don't even know. What do you think? But anyway, when you're doing your wedding invitations, when you're doing your bridal invitations, you're doing your granddaughter's anything, you know, just don't forget that you've got artist inspiration inside of you. You don't have to have a person to decorate it for you. You can do it yourself. So go get a canvas. Don't worry about it. You can take a picture later. You can also focus in on the top or the bottom or the middle. You don't have to take the whole picture. And then you can use it for anything. You can use it for invitations. You can use it for thank you notes. You can use it for anything you want. Thanks for tuning in to the Crack of Dawn. I love it.
Water's warm at Jaws Pawn, and we're stocked full of treasures. Big or small, we buy it all. We buy and sell fast rides, power tools, vintage guitars, and so much more. Walk the plank in style with our fine jewelry, diamonds, and watches. Plus, we have a huge selection of the latest video games, including the new PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Jaws Pawn, conveniently located on Meriden Waterbury Turnpike in Southington and West Main Street in New Britain.